Hey guys, welcome to Thursday Night Live. I hope you guys are ready for a great live stream. I've been preparing for this all day and last night too. And we're calling it Circus of Fools. I thought we could take a look at some of, the people surrounding Gypsy Rose Blanchard, people that have been involved in shaping the narrative, how it has evolved, how it has changed. It's interesting because it's so confusing. So let's go back and let's take a look at, how did this all start? We know how it started. Gypsy murdered her mom, right? But after that, all of these different narratives kept coming out. And we've got Gypsy involved, obviously. We've got her dad Rod involved. We have her stepmom Christy very much involved, right? We've got Ryan, he's a player, the ex-husband. We've got Ken, the current baby daddy. And they all have contributed to this wacky narrative that it's so hard to even keep track of most of the time. But before we start, this big live stream, I want to see what's going on in the chat. I've been watching you guys. You guys are on fire. You guys are what a great community. How lucky that I get to spend Thursday evening a couple of hours with some of the best people in the world. You guys really are. You guys are great. So let me go ahead and get your guys's comments up on the screen there so replay crew can check them out. And let me see what some of you guys are doing. We're going to first acknowledge Marcel Harding over in New Zealand. Marcel, thank you so much for becoming a member on the Truth Train. Welcome aboard. And he also sent a $2 or New Zealand cash. I don't know what they call it there, Marcel. Super sticker. Thank you so much. And we got Natty G, member for 2 months. Becca, I love you. So happy to be in the squad. We're so happy you're here, Natty G. You've been here, member for 2 months. You're one of the newbies, but you're getting into the OG status. So thanks for being here, Natty. We got Cowboy and Truck, $2. Thank you, Becca and Mitch. Much love and support. Cowboy and Truck, thank you. No, thank you for being on the Truth Train. We got a definite OG here. Lisa Evans, 4138, member for 11 months. Can you believe, Lisa, it's coming up on a whole year? I can't. So next month, April, will be, we put out our first video April of 2024. We were working on it for a couple of months before that, but that was officially when Mitch and I put out any content. So it's coming up on 2 years. So Lisa, thank you so much. You say can't miss a Becca live, all aboard, choo choo. Thank you, Lisa. We got one of our other OGs, Anne Francis, one of our mods, member for 8 months. Hey, Becca, thanks for all you do. Hey, Anne, thank you for being here and thank you for being such a great mod. We got Ranch Dressing. Love that. Ranch Dressing, member for 3 months. We love you, Becca. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you so much, Ranch Dressing. We got Ooh La La Love 93, member for 2 months. Hey, Ooh La La Love 93. Thanks for being here. We've got B McKenna 2024, another one of our most favorite people, member for 4 months. Becca, it's been a gyp shit week. Yeah, it has. But we're almost there. Tomorrow's Friday. Hang on. And we all get to spend some time together. So excited to watch your live. Thank you. Choo choo. Thank you for everything. Well, thank you so much for being a member and for always being in chat and commenting. We love it. Ranch Dressing again, $4.99. Where is Bree? Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. She got rid of her already. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So hold on, ranch dressing. We've got a few video clips here that we might like talk about that for a minute. And we got Lisa Evans coming back in and she is gifted 1 Becca Scoops membership. Lisa, you're so generous. Thank you so much. Next up, 11, my future at 11, my future, I think, member for 5 months. Wow, thank you. Becca, I love that you focus on facts and evidence. Well, thank you so much. I do try to always focus on facts and evidence, but I also try to do something entertaining. So in the lives, we're going to, we talk about facts and evidence, but I like the lives to be a little bit more. So I want to interact with you guys, want to have a good laugh. But yeah, I try to really stay with the facts and the evidence and bring that to you guys always. So thank you. At Carabera 526, member for 6 months, half a year. It's been that long. Let's keep it going. Yeah, let's keep this train going, guys. By the way, I got some news from Lori today, just so that you guys know things are still very much going. So I just wanted to give you guys that little tidbit. At Syntaz 65, member for 10 whole months. Choo choo truth, chugging along. Love you, Becca. Well, I love you back at Syntaz. Thank you so much. Couple more. Crystal, one of our favorites. 10 months, girl. Thank you so much. I love you. We got another one of our favorites, Main Chick Carrie, member for 11 months. So proud of all you are doing, Becca. Well, thank you. We're doing it together. I can't do this without you guys. I can't do it without you. So we're all doing it together. At Corinne 02, member for 11 months, almost coming up on that 1 year mark. I love your work, Becca and Mitch. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. By the way, little update on Mitch. Yeah, I know you guys want to see him, and we have something in the works that he will be a part of. He just got subpoenaed for a murder case from over 30 years ago. Yeah, just yesterday, guy came to, so Mitch is retired, right? And so got to get a knock at the door early in the morning. And, you're always like, oh, guys, someone's trying to sell me something, right? And so open the door, ask for him. And I was almost going to say he's not here, but he was actually asleep. It's like, no, he's asleep. And he goes, well, we need to subpoena him for this cold case murder case. And I'm like, what? Wow. So he's going to be doing that. Why am I telling you that? Because Mitch, he's got to get spiffy. He's got to get a haircut, get it all going. So he's going to be camera ready for you guys. So you guys have that to look forward to. Mishy Cat, $5. Thank you so much for her beige Christian arrow. LOL. Yeah. And I've got some other revelations, if you guys know what I mean, that's going to be coming up in this live stream. It didn't take off like she hoped it would. No, it didn't. Now she's doing something even weirder, which we're going to get into. Mishy Cat, thank you for the donation. Let's see who's next. We got HMT Cough Scots. Became a member on the Truth Train. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much. Next up, we've got Covered in Flour, became a YouTube member. Welcome aboard. Another new person, guys. We're going to have to add the cars on the end of the train. One of our favorites at Citizen Jenks X, $5. Looking forward to the live. Great. Thank you. Truth Train stops for facts only. And a couple laughs, right? And a couple laughs, Citizen Jenks. But yeah, we are basically just trying to hammer out the facts and evidence here on this channel over and over again, right? Because we have new people coming all the time. And so sometimes, yeah, I got to stop and explain stuff. But I know you guys understand that. I know. And some of you guys that have been here forever, I know you guys know as much as I do. But yeah, we're trying to recruit others, right? Next up, one of our very favorites, Claire Power, who had a birthday last week, member for 11 months. Hi, Becca. Hope you're well. Much love. Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much for that. And a couple more, and then we'll get to the show. At Mika Jones 78 9.99. Thank you so much. Very generous. Thank you, Becca. You're the boot on Gypsy's neck. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. Okay. And next up at Carabera 526. Whoa. She gifted 5 Becca Scoops memberships. Very generous, Carabera 526. And let's do one more. One of our mods, one of our favorite people, Mersey Me, $1.99. A happy Thursday. Bring in the clowns, right? Yeah. So let's just stop there because and we'll get back to your comments in a minute, because Mersey Me is summing it up right there, what we're going to be getting into. Okay, let's get to a couple of these things. So, I want to start out, I don't get like super serious right away. So let's see what's been happening in Gypsy's life, present day. What is she doing? What's really going on? Right? I got it for you. I do. I'm staying up to date. And well, she's been busy little bee over on TikTok. And we are continuing with the dancing with her new BFFs. Like someone asked, where's Bree? For those of you that are new, Bree is not sure what happened. Gypsy's BFF. Bree spent years over on TikTok defending Gypsy, screaming and yelling at other people. Bree was a whole circus over there unto herself. But lately, and I haven't been on TikTok lately, so maybe I'm not up to date, but I am up to date with who Gypsy is choosing to make these little dance trends with, go out for St. Patrick's Day with, right? And it's not Bree, and it's not her other BFF, this woman that I call Scooter Sheena. She's over on TikTok too. And where are the regular cult members? Where are they? Who are these 2 new people? And I'm going to show you what Gypsy's just done today, just put out today. So let me go ahead and bring up a couple of these clips here. We've got, let's see. Gang, 34-year-old mother, allegedly. Okay, all right, let's give her that one. Right? Okay, so maybe just a weak moment wanting to do something weird like that. But that wasn't the only one she did. No. And I don't know about you guys, mothers in the chat, when my kids were little, like just starting to walk, that is when you are so tired, or they're getting into everything, you're everywhere. Any spare moment you have, when that kid naps, you're napping, right? You're trying to do the laundry. That's another thing I wanted to talk about that I hadn't addressed. Many of you might have seen Ken and Gypsy on a live stream where Gypsy, Ken has been working like 60 hours a week. It's the weekend. And Gypsy's saying that he has to help her do the laundry. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a stay-at-home mom, I took it upon myself. It wasn't like anyone was making me do it, but it was just, you know what? When Mitch was going out to work, of course, I was doing the laundry. Of course, I was in charge of the meals. I was in charge of the house, running the house. So he didn't have to worry about any of that. So he could go out and do his job, and I did my job. That's just the way we did it. And when she said, oh, yeah, you're going to help me with the laundry, right? I'm like, how is the laundry not done? How is that not done? Right? I mean, I don't know. Anyways, that wasn't the only that was just a little tidbit. That wasn't the only dance thing she did. Okay. There's more.
I wouldn't get views. So.
Oh, wait. Wait. That's something else. Remind me, I want to bring that back up in a minute. Okay. That's something else. But let me go to this next one here. Here we go. I got to be careful of the song. So she was doing that too. Okay. Crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah. They were doing that. And I think there's another one.
Have you played beans with anybody?
That's Ryan. Sorry. What is this one? Oh, here, this. What is this? There's a song to it. I can't play it, okay, because I'll get copyright strike. But what? What? Okay, I just have a question here. Did they like discuss this beforehand? Was there like a conversation? Okay, great. So you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play this song, and then you're gonna say you're a bitch, and then I'm gonna push you out of the way, and then you come in behind me, flashing the middle finger. Cool? Good plan? Let's do it. Yeah. I don't know who those people are. I mean, one of them is named Kel Rocky or something like that. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Yeah. So that was what was going on with Gypsy. Okay. So before I get to that, was just the pre-show. That was just what's going on with Gypsy, and we're going to get into the real content now. But before I get into the real content, I want to pause for a minute to thank the sponsor of our live stream today, Morgan & Morgan. This is a Morgan & Morgan legal alert. If you received Depo-Provera birth control shots and were later diagnosed with a brain or spinal tumor called a meningioma, you may be eligible for a lawsuit. Morgan & Morgan is investigating claims that patients weren't properly warned about this risk. It's free to check, takes just a few minutes, and you don't pay unless you win. Click the link in our description box to see if you qualify. Thank you. All right, gang. Thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring the Becca Scoop channel so I can continue to bring these live streams to you and these videos. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan. All right, guys, we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back in time to a time when Ken was writing to Gypsy in prison. And Ken would get big bothered about people on Facebook. That's right. Not only would he get big bothered, but I'm going to bring up an example of this diatribe he wrote to this woman when Gypsy was in prison. He would engage with these Facebook groups, which is kind of odd to me, that he was so invested in getting a narrative out, right? Remember, I was talking about the Circus of Fools, the circus of clowns surrounding her. And Ken was a part of it during the prison days, right? From getting these narrative out. Let's take a look at what Ken, this diatribe, this rant that he went on with this one woman on Facebook, this poor woman, right? Guess her name was Brenda K. Piper. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read this. And I want you guys to pay attention to the narrative Ken is selling here. He writes, "You are completely ridiculous. I've tried to hold back from responding thousands of ignorant posts, but honestly, I can't any longer. I want you to explain to me how someone who has never been to school," okay, so he's saying she's never been to school, "was raised by a compulsive liar, and sheltered beyond the meaning of the word, forced," get the capitalization of "forced to stay in a wheelchair." And I know you guys know we're going to take a mental note of that, because I'm going to play something to you after I read this that no one has ever heard publicly. So get ready for that. "Forced to stay in a wheelchair while knowing she didn't need one, which, by the way, if you actually did your research and knew your facts, you would know she believed she had all the illnesses and diseases her mother said she had, besides the fact that she could walk. Okay, pause for a moment. He is claiming, and we know in her memoir, she said she knew she wasn't really sick, that she knew she could walk, right? And she suggested in the memoir anyways that she was kind of like saying, no, I know, I'm not sick, but she was sick. So it's so confusing, right? Okay. Besides the fact she could walk and didn't know she had a clean bill of health, which she didn't. She did not until she was arrested and given a full scan in the jail hospital, a full scan, right? So obviously, Gypsy never told Ken while she was in prison that she actually did have a real chromosome disorder. And given a laundry list of medication keeping her in the appearance of being ill, was living a so-called high life because she got to go to Disneyland and meet celebrities. Meanwhile, her teeth are falling out. She's being fed with a feeding tube, and she's having surgery after surgery she didn't need. Altering her further. Do you honestly believe she was having the time of her life? Why don't you go take a free vacation under these circumstances and tell me how much fun you had? Okay, got to take the comments down so I can read the next part. She sees herself oh, great. She sees herself as sweet and innocent, but everything is everyone else's fault. Being raised by Disney movies and a crazy mother affected by Munchausen by proxy and being shut off from the entire world is a reality I can describe as nothing but innocent. She didn't have the capability to make rational decisions like you or I. Really? What? She felt trapped with no way out. Right. Neither you nor I can understand the level of manipulation her mother had over her. What she actually feared would happen if she just stood up and walked, as you so easily say, could have ended her suffering. She tried to escape multiple times with no avail. It got to a point where her mother drafted legal documents claiming her incompetent. We know that's not true. So if she tried to go to the police, they would instantly treat her as a mental case and disregard whatever claim she was making. As a society, of course, we condemn murder. Well, thanks for that, Ken. And always think that is not an option. And I agree with that. But Gypsy's reality, she couldn't put those pieces together. She couldn't. She was never even able to see so much as, listen to this part. I love this part. She was never even able to see so much as an episode of Law and Order. What? What? She couldn't watch Law and Order? Was that forbidden? What the hell? Okay. She saw it as the only way out of her living hell. Yeah, stabbing her mother many, many times. Great. Not her high life, which is nothing short of an insane terminology for the life she was forced to lead. And then it gets cut off. That was the very end, last sentence there. Okay. What do we think, guys? What do we think? This was the narrative Ken was sold by Gypsy when she was in prison, right? This was the narrative she sold him. He took it hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. And, well, I want to play something for you that you've never heard. Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
I wouldn't get views. So that was that's a video that got taken down.
Hold on, that's the wrong one. I'm going to play that one later. That one you haven't heard before either. It's this one.
Listen, I am watching, maybe I'm not like watching fully these videos that are coming out, but the one that came out last night, I watched it and I'm like looking at it like, what the fuck am I even talking about? Number one, I was not 6 years old whenever I supposedly had this seizure. I was closer to 8. Because the wheelchair didn't even come into play until at around 8 or 9. So that is kind of like, what the fuck was I even talking about? And then secondly, I just don't think that
So here Gypsy's talking with her minions about the video that we've all seen of when she tells Nick she can walk. And she explains, again, I've gone over this numerous times, but I know you guys know, that, her mother didn't know, right? And so this is her behind the scenes now talking about this video. So this is what she is saying behind the scenes.
Listen, I am watching, maybe I'm not like watching fully these videos that are coming out, but the one that came out last night, I watched it and I'm like looking at it like, what the fuck am I even talking about? Number one, I was not 6 years old whenever I supposedly had this seizure. I was closer to 8. Because the wheelchair didn't even come into play until at around 8 or 9. So that is kind of like, what the fuck was I even talking about? And then secondly, I just don't think that I was like, I never had a seizure, but I was going off on like what my mom.
What? Now she's never had a seizure, but in the video she said she had a seizure in the hospital. Right. Okay. Just keep it going.
Kept telling like the doctors and me and our friends about why I couldn't walk. And then I further on to go on to say that like I tried to tell her so many times. It's not that she didn't know, she knew, but what I wasn't verbalizing well back then was I didn't want to argue or get into a confrontation with my mom because every time I tried, she would get mad at me. So then it became I was, complacent. I told her what she wanted to hear. But that doesn't mean that she wasn't fully aware that I could walk. So like watching that video back, I'm like, oh honey, like you don't know all of the details, because it's like I didn't even put everything together until after I was arrested, and I'm still learning things. But watching that video, I could tell that like there was just so much that like I didn't know the scope of everything. I didn't know. So
I don't understand what she didn't know. What didn't you know?
I know that video hit hard, and that was kind of like a gold mine for, those that have, the Gypsy was never abused, Dee Dee was innocent narrative. So I know that it was a hard hit, and I know it's confusing to a lot of people. I've told Sheena weeks ago, about this particular, that's Aurora. Good morning. About this particular topic. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's kind of like these videos are from a version of me that was still very sheltered and didn't understand her life and was very confused. So, of course, it's not going to really make sense.
I think that's it. Let me just see if there's more. Yeah. Okay. That is that. What do you guys think of that? Very interesting, right? Even behind the scenes, she's not denying it. Now she's saying that she didn't have a seizure, but still saying I didn't tell my mom, and then this whole excuse about I didn't even, looking back at myself, I thought, oh, honey, you don't even know. What does that mean? What do you mean you don't even know? To me, and I could be wrong, what she didn't know is that this whole narrative has developed, right? it's evolved. And so she's looking at that thinking, oh, but we've got this whole other narrative going now, and I know I could be wrong, but I think that's what she's telling people behind the scenes. And I find that pretty interesting. So, oh, that's another one she's showing people behind the scenes. So we'll get to that in a minute. All right, hold on here. Oh, let me take that one down. Okay, thanks. It's hard to see. Like I told you, I still need to go get glasses. But we're going to bring you some other things that she has said behind the scenes. Was that one of them? I can't remember if that's one of them. Oh, no, that's that trend. Okay. It is. No, it's not that one either. Oh, I know where it's at. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right. So, switching talk, she's going to be switching topics now. In this next one has to do with Instagram, and we all know that Gypsy, right? We've watched it. Kind of got off the TikTok. She didn't like it. Was like she was having a hard time on TikTok. She's still on TikTok, but she started to really, really focus on Instagram. And so behind the scenes, she had something to say about why she's focusing on Instagram. And so here's what she put out. She showed everyone Insta pays. Insta pays. Yep, it's all about the pay, right? And which we know. And hey, I've said many times, hey, nothing wrong with making a buck, making content. Being a content creator does take work. I don't know how much work she has to put into doing dance trends, but yeah, she is definitely not in a Christian beige era. Everything since she's gotten out of prison, everything she's tried to do, the art scheme, all of the schemes, putting on the makeup, trying to become an influencer. She's looking to turn her name, her notoriety, her infamy into a payday. And she's looking to what platform is going to pay her the most. Hey, I don't know what happened to her podcast. She hasn't really spoken about that at all lately. Is that still in the work or not? Okay. So she posted this showing what she was making over on Instagram. And then she writes about it. Yeah, shit. The haters are on there too, meaning Instagram. But I read a comment that said, we have moved on from the Gypsy files. People are getting shot in Minnesota. So, hey, people are moving on. That comment made me fired up, though. Sadly, what she means is she's hoping and praying that the negative commenting will stop. She wants it to stop. You guys know that. Well, obviously, no one wants negative comments, but she is really focused on it. And she's trying and hoping and praying. I don't know if it's praying is the right word, but yeah, she's hoping that it stops. All right, let me take her comments off for a minute to read the bottom portion of that. She says, because it's like I've been humiliated, my body shown, and now just move on to the next thing. People will care for 10 minutes and then move on. So what she's hoping for, guys, is that basically people will move on from her. She's hoping we will move on, that we will just say, okay, yeah, let's not talk about her anymore. Okay. Yeah. So, right. And that's not going to happen. I think a lot of us are very passionate about this case. A lot of us, justice for Dee Dee. It's what we want. We want the public, the majority of the public, to get the narrative. That's why I'm doing this one live stream. I'm showing you the narrative that they put out, how it developed, how it got out into the media, and how Ken was a part of that last post I just showed you. And now I've just showed you how Gypsy is trying to make a living. It's not like, yeah, of course we knew that, but behind the scenes, she was telling her followers, yeah, look. And to me, it's tone deaf. I don't know who exactly all she was addressing in that message board kind of place, but to show it's in bad taste, in my opinion. No one asked her about her income. Nobody wanted to see her income, but she just had to throw it in their face. And I just think that's the tone deaf, right? Part of her that doesn't understand. Read the room. Are there people that are reading that? That, yeah, it's a private so-called area, but how about if someone's struggling? How about if someone doesn't know, how to get money for gas to get to work, or they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're sitting there and she's posting, yeah, look what I'm making on Instagram off of my mom's murder, which she claims she's not, right? She claims that anything she's doing now, she's making content. No, it all goes back to nobody would know who the F you are if you hadn't murdered your mother. And then you got these accessory of fools, Ryan, which we're going to get to right now. Ryan, who also claims he's made his own name. And no, it's not about Gypsy, that there's no way that Ryan could get 800,000 followers on TikTok if he wasn't married to the mommy murderer, right? It all goes back to Dee Dee laying in that bed, bloodied and stabbed. All of it. All the money, the whole thing, right? Okay. All right, let's switch gears here for a minute, get to one of the other fools in this circus of fools. And of course, that's Ryan Anderson, Gypsy's ex-husband. All right. I'll start off with a funny thing. Someone sent me, her name is Natalie, emailed me a funny Ryan thing. Remember when my last video, I was talking about how Ryan has become obsessed with this bean game over on TikTok because allegedly he had a gambling problem, probably still does allegedly. And this bean game is like the way you have to play it and all this. It's like being at a casino. And so this member of the Truth Train, emailed me this really short clip of Ryan. It's crazy. Just watch it.
Hey, have you played beans with anybody?
Yeah, we played it last time, remember?
I love it. Hey, have you played beans with anybody?
Yeah, we played it last time, remember? Do you want to match about at 3 and then we'll do the beans after? Did you do it with Justin the other night?
I guess we'll do another battle. I like the beans. I'm not gonna lie. Beans are fun.
The beans are fun.
And, it's not the same as a regular gift battle though. You know what I mean? It's not the same.
I know. It's hard to see the comment.
All right. So if you guys don't know what the bean game is, that these beans come down on the, on the screen, whatever you want to call it. And Ryan's got to use his hand like this to catch them. It's in my last video. If you missed my last video or didn't see that part, if you want to know what the bean game is, it's in my last video. But yeah, this person that emailed me, Natalie, that emailed me, said he is asking this other TikToker who does battles, hey, you want to do the bean game? And the girl reminds him, yeah, we've done the bean game. He's so oblivious. He's so obsessed. He's so single-minded now about this bean game that he couldn't even remember that just like 48 hours before he had done the bean game with her. Yeah, because you know why? Because he's doing it with everyone. He's doing it like multiple times. And no, he's not on a winning streak. Since my last video, the losing is continuing, but he doesn't care because the bean game keeps him going. All right, just a few other things about Ryan that I didn't get to last time, but let's listen to what he had to say about Ken.
Just like Ken, you know it. You know it. Yeah, exactly. I didn't get arrested for my ass, so I really don't know what the fuck y'all be talking about, but okay. My record speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? It speaks for itself. Hashtag scrumptious. My friend the other night, I don't know who you're talking about, but okay. Thank you, Kayla Marie. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for always being Team Ryan. All these people thinking they're gonna turn everybody against me. Good luck. Like, I wish you all the luck in the world, guys. But I promise you, bigger and better people have tried.
I don't think anyone's trying to turn anyone against Ryan. I think we're just commenting on his behavior, on his arrogance, that he's sitting on the couch doing multiple TikToks. He's obsessed with the bean game. He's a 40-year-old man, right? And he had an actual job before. He was actually a contributing member of society, okay? And I'm not saying if you're doing content creation that you're not contributing to society. Obviously, that's what I'm doing. It's his attitude and his arrogance, and that he doesn't understand why he has any followers at all, right? And he doesn't make really content. He just gets on there, screams at the chat, and then does these battles, and that's it. And he literally screams at his chat.
And they still didn't do it. So I really want y'all to keep trying, because, I mean, practice makes perfect. But like I said, be somebody that builds something, not just tries to destroy it and think you're building, because it's pathetic. Y'all call me pathetic, but it really is, and I'm sorry. But it's
He's claiming here that he doing this, playing the bean game, is building something positive, and that anyone that is critiquing him is being negative, and that will never work because he's building something positive. What is he talking about? What are you building? You're just going on TikTok lives, yelling at your chat and playing the bean game. What is positive about that? I don't understand.
okay. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. Hey, more power to you. Good luck. I wish you all the luck in the world, because you're going to need it. Just saying, because you're going to need it. Yeah, let the haters hate. I agree. Haters bring views, Rissa. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You like watching me when you black out? Okay, well, that's you, not me, so right on.
What?
Yep, B. Smith, yep. He did. That's not even up for debate. He used Christy in every trick he had. He sure
So he's going to talk about Ken here.
did. So, sure did. Okay, well, you're going to be sober, ALW77. You're going to be sober, so good job. That's what you should be. Thank you, Beth. Baby had my last name? No. Not anymore. He did when he was born. When Aurora was born, she did, but not now, no. Yeah, they're rage baiting with the comments. They're trying to get me to rage bait. So I'm just going to sit here and read. And it's like they're keyboard warriors tonight. They're out big tonight. Keyboarding it up. I ain't got nothing else to do. So keep keyboarding it. I love it. Keyboard it. Get it. Y'all are hurting my feelings. Get it. Y'all are killing me. Oh, God. I'm going to leave and be like, no. I have more self-respect than that. So that's what's funny is y'all really get off here and get mad or try to get or hurt me, and you don't. So I'm sorry that y'all have to live like that. It's really sorry.
All right, that's it. I just wanted to show you that is, you can barely watch it, right? That's like 2 minutes of his content. That is the example of exactly what he does. And then he goes and does these games. So that's what he's doing with his life. That's the outcome of him, the blowback, the aftermath of his marriage to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. That's what happened to him. Before, he was a teacher, actually had a real job and was doing things. And now all he talks about is the haters, Team Ryan, I'm building something positive. And then I guess he had the audacity to charge. He was going to charge. So just one more Ryan thing, and then we're going to be done with Ryan. But just to show you how desperate he's become, he was going to charge his chat $9.99 to watch. can't make it up, to watch the Lifetime series that he was in with Gypsy. Yeah, here's a little clip of that.
Babe, the idea of charging people to watch the show is a terrible look. I said I'm thinking about it, Michelle. I'm probably not going to do it because I really don't want to open that Band-Aid. You know what I mean? And it's a watch along anyway. It's to ask me questions during it. I'm probably not going to do it because I really don't want to open that wound. You know what I mean? So I'm just honest with y'all. I gave y'all an opinion. I said I might do it, but I'm probably not going to do it. Actions speak louder than words, just so you know.
What is he talking about? So he suggested this, got major backlash. Like, what are you talking about? No one's going to pay $9.99 to watch the show that they've already watched with him, right? And so now he's pretending like, look, I didn't do it. Actions speak louder than words, meaning I may have said I was going to do that, but I'm not doing it. So I'm a good person. See, I'm not doing it. What? What?
Why even suggest it then? Because it's called an idea. You never suggested an idea before and never did it? Okay.
So I showed you Gypsy showing her Instagram thing, Instagram income, right? Thinking about focusing on the haters. I'm showing you Ryan is exactly the same. They're the same now, right? They are both social media content creators looking for a quick buck. He was coming up with this idea. She comes up with all her ideas, the art, the whatever, right? He came up with this pay-per-view, like it's a boxing match, the pay-per-view boxing matches, right? That you can sign up for. All right. And when everyone was like, wait, looking at him sideways, like, dude, what? You're going to do what? He's like, nah, I'm not really doing that. Nah, it was just an idea I had, guys. Actions speak louder than words. What does that even mean? That doesn't even apply to that. All right, so that's Ryan. So let's get to some other kind of serious stuff here. Yeah, let me, got so much I have to move into the studio and stuff. I'm done with stuff because I have a lot of different clips I want to show you guys. Okay, so, well, let me just show you one little, let me show you some of these, not video clips, but just clips of things people have said. This is Rod. Rod again said, geez, y'all lost. Dee Dee made her stay and fake being in a wheelchair since she was like 8 years old. Dee Dee's con plan since Gypsy was very young. Gypsy had to play along. Remember the clip I just showed, you guys listened to from Gypsy from the behind the scenes talking again about how her mom did not make her stay in the wheelchair, but she was just too afraid to tell her mom she could walk, right? Do you see this now? Or is everyone wondering where has Christy and Rod been lately? Do you think that now this whole narrative once again has been turned on its head, meaning Gypsy has been, got caught with this video saying this thing and she wasn't quick enough on her feet. She doubled down on it saying, yeah, that was true. What I said about not being honest with my mom, but here's why. Yet here is Rod from like a year ago. I mean, I don't have the exact date of this comment, but it's prior to the videos coming out. Okay. When he was defending Gypsy, this is when Gypsy had come out of prison. And so this is what Rod was saying. This is what Rod believed to be true. So he's saying Dee Dee made her stay and fake being in a wheelchair since like she was 8 years old. Dee Dee's con plan since Gypsy was very young. Gypsy had to play along. It's very simple. Gypsy had enough of that shit and now she's free. Well, now Rod knows, now Christy knows, now everyone knows that they were using, my point is here, they would say like, okay, yeah, we get that she had the microdeletion, but the wheelchair. They would always point to the wheelchair. Dee Dee made, that was like the one abusive thing they kept saying Dee Dee did to her. And now that's all been thrown into question. Why? Because Gypsy tells on herself. She told on herself to Nick, and that video came out. And now there's several times, including the one I just played with you, the clip I just played for you behind the scenes, what she is saying again. She is admitting, yeah, okay, so my mom didn't know. My mom didn't necessarily know I could walk. Other times she says, yeah, my mom knew because we slept together and I kicked her in the bed. So of course she knew I could walk. It is so hard to keep up with all of the differing narratives, but here we are. And I'm pulling up these past comments to show you guys what these Circus of Fools that she brought along, that she convinced to sell her narrative, thought. And now they all look like fools because it's changed again. It's changed again. And yeah, haven't seen Christy around lately. Haven't seen Rod around lately. I wonder why. All right, let me show you some other things here. Let's go to this clip.
Everything that my mother was telling me. Everything came out about everything that my mother was telling me. A lot of this information came to me by either Mike, my attorney, or Christy, and stepmom.
This is Gypsy talking now, the prison confessions, okay? This is right before she gets out of prison. She's talking to Melissa Moore, actually, via phone. And this was in her Lifetime series.
A lot of this information came to me by either Mike, my attorney, or Christy, and stepmom. And then it got back to me. Mike had told me about what my mother was telling people about my father or about our family, our relatives. It was a lot to absorb. My two attorneys are telling me that my mother has something called Munchausen by proxy, and she was using me for money and abusing me medically, and then to tell me all of the lies and manipulation on top of it. So I felt, did I ever know her at all? My own mother? Did I ever know this woman at all?
Yeah. So she was saying there, oh, I found out from Mike and Christy after my arrest. What did she find out? Oh, that her mom had Munchausen. Like, she's like, I didn't know. I didn't know there was anything going on. And then in her memoir, you guys, I'm telling you, this is the craziest case. That's what she says there. Then she writes her memoir and says, oh, by the way, I did know. I did know. In fact, it's the reason I killed my mom. I had to kill her because she was going to cut my throat. Oops. You can't make this up, how much it changes, right? And then we learned that whole thing, as you guys know, the whole thing about the cut in the throat wasn't true, right? So it goes from, I didn't know, I'm the prison confessions. I don't know what's going on. I learned from Mike and Christy what was going on. I didn't know my mom had Munchausen. What's that? I didn't know. Oh, I didn't even know. I thought I was really sick. I didn't know. And she knew she was sick, but you know what I mean? She's saying, I didn't think I was really sick, meaning, you know, all these different diseases that they claim Dee Dee was saying, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, yeah. And then in the book, she says, oh, by the way, I did know. In fact, it's the reason why I murdered my mom. I just forgot to say that before. Did I forget to say that before? Yeah, I guess I forgot to say that before. These aren't small tidbits. It's a motive for murder, right? It's not small. All right, let's keep going. And I'm just going to jump around here because these are just, we're talking about the Circus of Fools. So I'm showing you how they are fools. They are fools. All of them have been a fool for Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Okay. This is a portion, just a clip of a live stream where Ken was on with Nicole on the dance floor. You guys know Nicole, right? And I just want to play this really quick little clip of what he said. He said this back in the beginning of December. And I think it's interesting.
About the book, or do you not discuss that book at all?
Sorry, it's really loud. Let me bring it down. I think it's Cooks who's talking. I'm not sure. She says, "Hey, do you know about the book, or do you not gonna?" Is talking. She's asking Ken about Gypsy's memoir. Will you talk about the book? What about the book? Okay, that's what she's saying.
He's putting the baby down.
What?
Oh, there he is. He's smoking. He's vaping.
Like you're vaping.
Okay, what?
Do you
That's
not?
Ken.
Can I ask you a question about the book, or do you not discuss the book at all?
I'm probably not going to discuss the book. You know, it's not my book. So
What do you think about the new toy is?
Mama's book. I mean, I would think
yeah,
that
it's her book, but I'm not going to speak on her book. It's her book.
Don't
It's her
let the
memoir or
baby
whatever.
read that.
He says, I'm not going to speak on her book. It's her book. And he does this a lot. People ask him questions. Do you think later on, Audacious Audrey comes up and she asks him about, what do you think about Nick's sentence? And he deflects from Audrey too. And so he does a lot of deflecting, but he does say something here that is noteworthy.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I did.
And you would be okay with Aurora reading that?
Probably not, you know.
Probably not. Would you be okay with Aurora reading that? And he says, probably not. Now, most of you know, we have new people, so I like to explain things. Gypsy's memoir is not only salacious, it's almost soft porn in a lot of areas. It is a hard read in that it is disgusting. It is grimy. You want to take a shower after you read it. It is not anything a child should read. Yet, Gypsy dedicates it to her daughter, and she said in several interviews that she wrote the book for her daughter. And so it's interesting here that Ken, right, he probably not remembering that part of it, but just actually a true comment here, a true reaction. Yeah, I read it. You see how disgusted he almost sounds. And no, are you going to let her read it? And he says, like a good father, and I'm not saying he's the best father. I don't know what kind of father he is, but this comment at least was, to me, good parenting in one respect, and that no child should read that book. Okay, he says a few other things here, I think.
There we go. That's all I wanted to know.
Back in 2 seconds, Aurora fell asleep in my arms. I'm going to go put her in her crib. So give me a minute.
It's the book at all.
I'm probably not going to discuss the book. You know, it's not my book. So
What do you think about the new toy is?
Mama's book. I mean, I would think that
it's her book, but I'm not going to speak on her book. It's her book.
Don't
It's her
let the
memoir or
baby
whatever.
read that.
You know.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I did.
And you would be okay with Aurora reading that?
Probably not, you know.
There we go. That's all I wanted to know, sweetie.
But you know
Thank
that she
God.
wrote it for Aurora. At least that's
At
what she
least
said.
there's one responsible parent.
Okay. So I don't know. Some of you probably have heard that clip, but I thought it was important I felt like it was a true moment because so many of these Circus of Fools, they just are going with a narrative, and sometimes they slip though. Sometimes they say something that kind of makes sense. And that was one of the times for me, we actually now know his true feelings about that book, right? And his true feelings are right. I mean, even him, the guy that will cover for her, the guy that wrote that Facebook post that I showed you in the beginning of the live stream, the guy that is really dedicated to her, even he sees that the book is disgusting and problematic. Not only that, we know, all of us know here that have been, on this case for a while, it is just full of lies. It's lie after lie after lie. So it should just be taken off the shelf at this point. There's no reason for that book. She'll never get another book deal. That's all I'm going to say, because it's just, it's cringe. Okay. Let me go ahead and take that out of the studio so I can bring up some other things here. Okay. let's take a look at Christy for a minute. I'm gonna do what's called a screen share here. We're gonna be, for those of you that are watching on the replay, there's a possibility that what I'm gonna be posting next might get copyright struck because this is from the life after lockup. But after we play the clips, I will explain it to you. But I think it's important to go over this part of the case to understand how Christy was really in control of a lot of the narrative, how she was really in control of a lot of Gypsy's life, not only after she got arrested, but post prison. All right, let's take, and I know most of you have seen a lot of this, but I think it's worth going over now that we're going over how this narrative in the Circus of Fools keeps changing. And the narrative is completely blown out of the water now at this point. And Christy she's been MIA on social media. Okay.
He had told me, he says, my story needs to be heard.
Gypsy and Ryan's relationship.
This part is about where Christy interferes in in Ryan and Gypsy's marriage, right? She butts in it, and she says that she's always been friends with Ken, and this is all news to Rod. And what I did find interesting is, why did Ken pop up when he popped up? And I'm going to play a clip after this one of, I think, Ken telling on himself. I had never seen, of course, I'd seen that part before, but I'd never really listened to it. So I listened to it with new ears. And yeah, there was something, but we'll discuss it when we get to that point. This is Christy talking about, Ken's coming back around, that kind of stuff.
Telling me.
Why did Ken have a right to speak his opinion at this point? They had been broken up for years. He had lived with another woman for 5 years. I don't understand this part of it, really. Why Christy was so hell-bent on, did she just loathe Ryan that much? Possibly. But it's weird to really want to step into someone else's marriage, right? And, you guys write the comments. I mean, what was it with Christy meddling? Being the meddlesome woman, right?
He chose not.
Dogged him out. Well, maybe he deserved it. I don't know. Why does Christy feel like Ken needs a new platform on this series? Or what? Here's things that go through my mind. Did the producers encourage this to make a triangle? Or was Gypsy already talking to Ken and had never stopped talking to Ken anyways? I mean, these are the things that go through my mind.
He had told me, he says,
Ken sincerely feels that he wants Gypsy to be happy. And
see here, I think Rod, and I'm not a fan of any of these people really, but I think Christy is always like blindsiding Rod with stuff. And so he's going to, this is all new to him, and he's going to say some things.
In order for her to be happy and move on from it.
Okay, so there's that. Now, many of you might have seen Ryan was crying the other day on TikTok. There was a few videos that was made of him crying, and he said he was crying because he had watched this one scene of him and Gypsy and the pixie dog. And well, I found the scene. Not that it really matters, but there you go. Here they are going to get Pixie. Okay, and in this, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get copyright strike. And I'll play a little bit more for you in a minute, but they're going to get Pixie, and Ryan is very suspicious. He's like, are you talking to Ken? He kind of alludes to that. He's looking at what she's doing. They get the dog. And so then this, of course, you know what happens. He comes back. He breaks up the marriage, right? Yeah, it's crazy. All right, there's one more clip here. I want you guys to see. It's this. At this point, I have figured out, and most of you probably know, at this point, Gypsy already is talking to Ken. Ryan just doesn't know it. She actually is talking to Ken when this happens, when this car ride happens. They've already been in touch. The stripper body. I had to play it. Sorry, guys. I know it wasn't fair, but I had to play the stripper body. Kaboom. Kaboom. She's got like that athletic build, but I got the kaboom. I got the stripper body, right? Oh my gosh. All right. I'll show you for those of you that are really into this, just one more thing. The clip that Ryan was crying about on TikTok, he literally was crying tears. Okay. I'll show you. Look at his face there. That's a funny one. Okay. They get home with they already showed that this is with her. It's back here. Might not be able to find it. Okay, they get the dog. Pixie was so cute as a puppy there, but they get the dog. It's this scene. This is the scene Ryan was watching live that he's talking about live on TikTok. He didn't play this scene, but he was talking about how he had just viewed this scene and he actually started crying during the TikTok live. This is the scene. I'm going to mute it for copyright, but this is it. This is what this little picture right here. He played for himself. You guys know about how he got in trouble on live with the Google chat GPT, talking about how he needs to let the relationship go. It's part of that moment. He's crying, and I don't know if it's in the same live, but it's around the same time. And this is what he was playing on his phone. And I think this is what also contributed to the chat GPT giving him that advice. Like, you're unrealistic, you're delusional about your relationship, that whole thing, right? Well, it was this. And I thought I would just share that with you guys because I thought it was kind of funny. Well, sad and funny, depending on how you feel about Ryan. I mean, I don't hate the guy. I don't wish him sadness. I don't wish him to dwell in depression or anything like that. But yeah, his behavior is, problematic. Now, one other thing now, since we're on this, why did Ken come back? The narrative. This also shows you a lot of people have thought, did Ken come back because of the fame? And I was always like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Watch this clip. Let's watch this clip. Sorry, my phone was ringing, so I had to get it. Producers learned Ken, listen to this. Producers didn't go to Ken. Producers learned Ken wanted to share his side of the story on the camera. Okay? He was seeking it out. After she blew up, and I know a lot of people believe this, but I feel this is some evidence towards that. After she blew up, after getting out, he was like, right? So it says, Ken wanted to tell his side of the story. He has never spoken to the media about his relationship with Gypsy before. So why did he decide now? Well, he thought there was something in it for him, is what I think. And let's look about the dog.
That was her favorite. One of the things that we bonded
And they
over.
wanted the dog, and then they get the dumb tattoos. But the last part here, also, he tells on himself. This part, right here.
And so why now? Why do you want to talk now?
Well, I'm more separated from her than ever, and I just feel like it's important for me.
I'm more separated from her than ever. Yeah, you broke up with her like a million. Hell, what do you think? What? Yeah, you're separated from her. You broke up with her like many years ago. So what is that?
To share my thoughts and opinions on her
Why?
and the time that we spent together.
Why is it important for Ken to share his thoughts and feelings about his ex-girlfriend's marriage? Why was that important? Because he's a kind of a narcissist too, because he thinks it's kind of about him too, right? I'm telling you, the Circus of Fools, they're all of them got something wrong with them mentally, in my humble opinion, okay?
And everything will unfold as it should.
And everything will unfold as it should. What does that mean? Look at the face. See the smugness on his face? What is he saying here? He's saying, I'll get her back. Everything will unfold as it should. That's my opinion after watching this, rewatching this, learning that he's the one that went to the producers and all that. So you know what, Ken? Dude, you made your own bed. Now you're lying in it, okay? Now you're working 60 hours, some menial outside job. Nothing wrong with it. Not saying there is. Hard work. Nothing wrong with that. I commend him for doing the hard work, for doing the hard job. But dude, what were you thinking jumping back into this circus? Now you've become part of the Circus of Fools, Ken. You're right there with all the rest of them. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. And I thought I would share that too about how Ken got here. The origin story of how Ken reappeared, right? Yeah. I always thought maybe it was Christy more pushing him. No, I think Ken pushed himself. I think so. I don't feel sorry for him at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. And, you know, don't feel sorry for anyone in the Circus of Fools, to be quite honest. Okay. I wanted to get more into Christy, just a few other things about Christy. Since we're on Ken, let me finish up with Ken. This goes to the evidence. This goes to the story, the narrative about her sitting in the wheelchair. Now that we know what she said, right, about the wheelchair, let's listen to Ken. He was on the TikTok Justin guy. I can't remember his actual, you know who Justin is. And he talked specifically about the wheelchair. Again, just like Rod did, about how this was the abusive part that Dee Dee was doing to her, right? And now that's not true anymore, right? Nope, that's not true anymore. Let's listen to Ken, what he had to say.
Sheltered abuse victim. And there are a lot of people that say that Gypsy was never abused, their mom never abused her because of this micro deletion thing. That's 100% just bullshit. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because regardless of the micro deletion or not, there is no excuse for, one, her mother forcing her to sit in a wheelchair knowing that she could walk. That's a form of child abuse. Correct. Her mother pulling her out of school when she is totally articulate and can learn. That's a form of child abuse.
So you heard it. I'm going to back it up just a little bit about the wheelchair. Ken, what do you think about this now? Ken, what do you say about now Dee Dee making her stay in the wheelchair?
Regardless of the micro deletion or not, there is no excuse for, one, her mother forcing her to sit in a wheelchair knowing that.
See how that was the narrative? Rod's comment, the term he used, forced. The term Ken is using here, forced. It's the narrative that they were all on the same page with until what? Until the video came out of Gypsy admitting, oh no, my mom didn't know. I was fooling my mom. Like I was scared to lose her love, right? No, she wasn't really forcing me to be in the chair. I put myself in the chair, right? I mean, it's a crazy story. I mean, and then she doubles and has tripled down on that now in what I just played for you in the beginning of the live stream, her behind the scenes, what she tells even her minions behind the scenes. Can't make this up. And now all of them using Dee Dee forced her to be in the wheelchair. Like after the micro deletion came out, the narrative changed to, okay, so maybe, yeah, they were kind of conceding. Okay, so yeah, she's got that chromosomal disorder. Yeah, she was really ill. And so they kind of laid off the medical procedures, right? And what they went for after that was, yeah, but she forced her to be in that wheelchair. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? And now, guys, that's been knocked out. Like the whole entire narrative now has been utterly destroyed. It's over with. All right, let's listen to let's finish off this clip.
And there are a lot of people that say that Gypsy was never abused, their mom never abused her because of this micro deletion thing. That's 100% just bullshit. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because regardless of the micro deletion or not, there is no excuse for, one, her mother forcing her to sit in a wheelchair knowing that she could walk. That's a form of child abuse. Correct. Her mother pulling her out of school when she is totally articulate and can learn. That's a form of child abuse. Correct. Her mother putting a feeding tube in her knowing that she could eat. That's a form of child.
And that's been knocked out, right? We've totally debunked that she needed the feeding tube. That's all of this. Every bit of what he's saying, except the school. And a lot of people say possibly because of behavioral issues, she wasn't in real school, or it was just Dee Dee's choice. You can't say that being homeschooled is abusive, right? You can't say that. Many good families homeschool their children. So you really, it's blown. It's blown. The whole narrative, all of their excuses are over. And so what do we have Gypsy doing? We have her doing little dances on TikTok. Yeah, the distraction. We're not going to talk about this case anymore. They're not. I'm telling you, they're not. They're not on panels, right? Remember when Christy would get on panels? Even Rod would get on panels. Ken would sometimes go on panels. Now, no more. They don't want any more questions now.
Child abuse. So those are all forms of child abuse that were enacted by her mother, regardless. And people want to blame her and say that, oh, she was culpable. She was with her mother. She was raised and groomed by her mother to be that person. So to look at her and say she was a 22-year-old, she should have known better. Her 22-year-old version is not the same as anybody else's 22-year-old version when she was raised, manipulated, and conned to be a groomed child under her mother's care.
Sounds like a forced childhood, right? I've got that clip. A forced childhood. Well, Ken, it's over. You know it. So good luck. Good luck with making Gypsy an influencer. Good luck, because the argument has been put to bed. Yeah, it's been put to bed. So let's get to, sorry, I've been going on kind of long. Let me get back to some of your comments. I got a lot of other clips I want to play for you guys, so hang in there. Hope you guys are doing well. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really enjoy doing these live streams. I hope you guys are having a good time too. All right, let's go back to some comments here. I know we ended up with Mersey Me. So we've got Wendy Williams enters the chat. One of my favorite people. Hey, Gypsy, strike your best possum pose and show us your nose. Haha, love Becca and crew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Wendy Williams enters the chat for the $5. I really appreciate it. Next up, Nancy Razzo, $2. I love it here. Wish you could do lives every day. I do too. I do too. I would love to do them. It just, I don't know how I could do it, but I'm trying to do them at least once a week. I'm trying to make it like a Thursday night thing, hopefully. So I hope you guys will join me every Thursday night on these for the foreseeable future. Next up, we got Claire Power. Love Claire. Gifted 5 Becca Scoops memberships. Thank you, Claire. You are always so generous. You're always so generous. Thank you so much. Next up, Crystal Pistol. Love Crystal Pistol. Member for 10 months. Thank you, Crystal Pistol, for being here. Thank you for being one of my loyal mods. Really appreciate it. And we got B. McKenna 2024, $10. Thank you for that. I joke that wrestler Bret Hart is complaining all the time. I call him bitching Bret Hart, and it's fitting. Crying Ryan loves him. So appropriate. Haha. That I love that. Yeah, that Bret Hart guy. Ryan is obsessed with Bret Hart. Not as obsessed as he is with the Bean Game, right? Not that obsessed, but Bret Hart is one of, like, he's got like a 18 by 20 poster size picture of Bret Hart in like his living room. Like, you know, he's a bachelor because no woman would let that picture be in her living room, obviously. Okay. Well, thank you for that. That is great. Next up, we got Covered in Flour. I love that name, $1.99. I've missed being able to watch your lives. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you made this one, Covered in Flour. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the $1.99. Very, very nice. Thank you. Next up, B. McKenna again. Whoa. Very generous, gifted 5 Becca Scoops memberships. Thank you. Thank you. You really humble me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Next up, Forest Friend. Gifted 1 Becca Scoops membership. Another Truth Train. We got 6 new Truth Train members just in the last 5 minutes or whenever these were gifted. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. Send your thanks to the people that donated to Forest Friend and B. McKenna. Next up, Jamie Hyde, 5323, member for 2 months. Love you, Becca. I'm so excited for this live. Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here too. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. B. McKenna, again, $5. I've said it before. I have empathy for many people, but Bree knew 1000% who she was dealing with. My hope is she spills the beans, loser. And when we talk about Bree spilling the beans, we're not talking about Ryan's bean game. They're different beans, right? There's the bean game, and then there's Bree maybe spilling the beans, but it's different. Don't get them confused now. A lot of beans going on here. All right. Next up, we've got Citizen Jenks, $5. Keep the boop where it belongs. Gyp is thirsty. Yeah, she is so thirsty. It is like wild to me, these little stupid videos. It's like, isn't she embarrassed? Oh my God, isn't Ken embarrassed? No wonder Christy and Rod are MIA. Next up, one of my favorite, Carolina girl, 75, $5. Is that Gypsy and the Gyp Babes, or is that Alvin, Simon, and Theodore Chipmunk? Exactly. I mean, and I would have loved to be a fly on the wall behind the scenes when the three stooges that do the little dance routine, Gypsy and her two new BFFs. I would love to be a fly on the wall. Like, what is the discussion? Like, hey, Gypsy, or no, Gypsy. Hey, guys, want to make a dance video with me? Yes, Gypsy. What are we going to do? I think it would be funny to do like Alvin and the Chipmunks. It would be so hysterical. Everyone's going to love it. I'm going to get a ton of views. And they're like, yeah, let's do it, Gypsy. I mean, I can't. They're grown women over 30. Obviously, they're all over 30, right? Okay. Just saying. B. McKenna, 2024, $5. Gyp shit has no shame. I'd be so mortified after everything released. Yeah, right? I mean, wouldn't the videos have been enough to like, okay, we're moving, we're changing my name, we're changing your name. If you're coming with me, Ken, we've got to get out of here, right? I mean, you would just melt and just go somewhere else. Change the videos would have been, yeah. And then not only for your own, embarrassment, but like for your child, like, oh Christ, someday let's move, let's change our names. Maybe we can outrun this long enough that Aurora will never find out. Right. I mean, I don't know how to deal. I would have dealt with that. Definitely not doubling and tripling down, being on social media and doing everything that she's doing. Like, not when you have a kid. That kid is going to grow up. They're going to see all this, right? So, yeah. And she's just that trashy to triple down. Yeah, embarrassing. Exactly. All right, let's do a couple more. Citizen Jenks, $5. Their group name should be Thirst Trap Rejects. Yeah, TTR. Just call them TTR. The TTRs. Exactly. We got Amy. Amy became a member on the Truth Train. Welcome, Amy. Welcome. Love to have you. Welcome aboard. One of our favorites, Mighty Mulatto, $3,002. She just didn't have a rational capacity, period. No, she did not have a rational capacity, period. No, she did not. No. One more from Mighty Mulatto, $5. Ironically, this is the adult dependent woman Ken now takes care of. Yes. He's become Dee Dee. Yes. He's become Dee Dee with not just one, but two daughters. Yes. So true. Mighty Mulatto always has these words of wisdom. Thank you, Mighty Mulatto. And next up, Citizen Jenks. Ken's the human TED Talk. Oh my God. I love it. I love it, Citizen Jenks. Thank you so much. Next up, Carolina Girl, $2. That was her sheltered era. Right. Exactly. Carolina Girl again. Oh, that was the last one. Citizen Jenks, $5. I'm still learning things. That's Gypsy for. I'm working on a new way to dupe my followers. Exactly. See, we know all the Gypsy speak now, right? We know the Gypsy lingo. I mean, it's kind of sad in a way that we know, this is what I can share with you, the chat. There's only you guys that I can like talk to about this. I can't talk to like, my sons or anything about this. They think I'm nuts. What's Gypsy lingo? What are you talking about? Right. Yeah. They think I'm a little, All right. But you guys get it. You guys get me. We're all on the same page over here. That's why these live streams are so important. It's kind of like group therapy for all of us that are having to endure this. All right. Thanks, Citizen Jenks. Next up, we got Kim Anderson, $29.91, $9.99. Thank you. Very generous super sticker. Thank you, Kim Anderson. So happy to see you in the chat. Next up, B. McKenna, 2024, $20. She actually believes her own lies. Seriously, we've all been awkward teens. Yeah. Not once did I do cringe stuff like that. Me neither. I had a normal childhood and I was more naive than this sheltered girl, whatever. Yeah, I love how in Ken, in the first Facebook post that I, showed you guys in the beginning of the live stream, how he wrote, it was just so ironic to me. She is innocent. She is innocent. And what was the other word? There was another word like naive. There was another word that he strung along with innocent. And I'm like, oh boy, dude, you don't know her one bit. You don't know her one bit. All right. Next up, we've got Boy's mom. Boy's mom's Ina has become a member. I'm a boy's mom too. I think maybe that's what you mean. Yeah, I got 3 sons and 1 stepdaughter. So welcome aboard, Boy's mom. Thank you for being here. Next up, Days No Confused, one of our favorites, $10. How does Gypsy have all this time to be online, make videos, be out drinking? I couldn't string 20 minutes together to shower or eat a whole meal when my daughter was a baby, but she's online 24/7. This is exactly it. Days No Confused. What I was even saying that in the beginning too. Like, I just wanted to take a nap, but I would never have this kind of time. I was constantly either totally having to watch the baby, right? Or having to go to the grocery store or making dinner or doing laundry. It was endless amounts of things to do. And yet there's no baby in sight. And she's hanging out with these 2 weirdos. And you're thinking, where's the baby? I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, let's do a couple more and we'll get back to the live stream. Ms. Lady's here. And she became a member. You didn't have to do that, Ms. Lady. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Thank you for being here. And next up, we got Jill B 3072, $13.99. Thanks, Becca, for spoiling us with your videos and weekly lives. You're so welcome, Jill B. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for me, because I can't do this without you guys. So thank you. Next up, Slayer Wolf, $2. Probably blames leg kicks and beds on muscle spasms. Yeah, probably. We're talking about when Gypsy claimed that she kicked her mom in bed, and that's how she knew that she could walk. That was one of the excuses. Ore Sue, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Love to see you in chat. And we love Gypsy Rose Sexy Tongue, $5. The reason Gypsy had a muscle biopsy is because she was lying to Dee Dee. If Dee Dee was in on the con, she wouldn't have let the muscle biopsy happen. Yeah, this is another great point, because like I've said many times, where I started out, and probably you did too, if you got into this case anywhere near before she got out of prison or right when she got out of prison, like I did, we didn't know so much information, right? And so when the micro deletion came out, that kind of was crazy, right? So they were like, okay, well, what happened? Little by little, more evidence. And now, yeah, this is a great question. This is a question I'm going to have to ask myself too. Yeah, if she was in on the con, I don't think she would have let the muscle biopsy happen. I don't think she would have. I'm going to think about that one. This is a great question I'm going to have to think about. Yeah. Okay. Let's do one more and then we'll get back to the show. Ms. Lady, $13.99 Canadian dollars. The only thing that changed in the video was her age from 6 to 8. Exactly. She's on damage control overtime. Yes. And thank for all the prayers while I was in the hospital. I love our community. Yeah. So I didn't know if everyone knew. Yeah. She was in the hospital. She was very sick. She just got out. And so we're so glad to see you in chat and doing okay. By the way, Diana did email me, since we're into people who have been in the hospital. Diane did email me. It was a kind of a personal message for my sister who lost her husband. So, but she's doing fine. She's home. So far, everything going great for Diana. And I think I saw Diana in chat. So I think she might be in chat. So, okay. We're going to end off there. I'll come back to the comments towards the end of the live stream, but let's get back to a couple more of these clips that I wanted you guys to see. Okay. No, my dog's going to bark. Don't bark, Maisie. Don't bark, mama. Okay. Let me go on. We're going to talk about Christy. Okay. Okay. So we're going back in time again, like I did kind of with Ken. And now we're back in time with Christy. And this is funnier than hell, but it also really shows you how this narrative has changed. So this is 2019 when Gypsy's in prison and The Act comes out, right? The Hulu series, The Act. And I think this is so telling. So this was, I think there was a People magazine article, and it's about Christy. It says, Gypsy Rose Blanchard stepmom says episode 4, and I'm going to show you what episode 4 is after I read a few quotes from this article that you guys are going to just be rolling your eyes with in a minute. I'm going to take the comments off chat in a minute so I can read this. Okay. So this is episode 4 of The Act has aired, and this publication, I think it's People or Us, I don't know for sure, one of those. Christy says, I haven't slept. Christy admitted when we talked to her the day after she watched the episode, which aired Wednesday, April 3rd. I didn't go to bed until 11 o'clock this morning, and I woke up a little while ago. This is how much this stressed me. Now, quick pause here. Yes, she's talking about episode 4 of The Act that stressed her out, that she couldn't go to bed. It was just so stressful. It was so distressing to watch episode 4 of The Act. I'm going to show you what it is in a minute. You guys are going to be rolling, okay? When asked specifically what about the episode bothered her, she simply answered, all of it. All of it. In her opinion, all of it. Okay. Wow. In her opinion, the show diverges too far from the truth. Yeah, the truth is subjective with these people, right? Painting Gypsy in a different light, presenting her as a different person than she is. Christy goes on to say this. Not everyone has seen all of the documentaries and the interviews we've done, she said. People watching The Act are going to get a totally different perspective than what we know is the truth. It's highly upsetting to me. Now, I know you guys know I don't have to point this out, but I am. The documentaries she's referring to, of course, are the documentaries that they had a hand in. All propaganda pieces that we have thoroughly demolished and debunked also, right? But this, and when I read this, I'm like, well, what the hell was in this episode? What was so bad in this episode that she's freaking out about, right? 2019, keep that in mind. Also, and I'm continuing to read now, also unlike the show, Gypsy didn't fight back by spitting in her mom's face. Okay. So they're saying in this episode, Gypsy spits in Dee Dee's face, but Christy's claiming also, unlike the show, Gypsy didn't fight back by spitting in her mom's face. No, sideline here. She only shot her with a pellet gun so many times, right? No, she might. No. Oh, okay. She didn't. Oh, no, she didn't spit in her face. But yeah, see, Christy, this is why this is so freaking funny going back and looking at this stuff now that we have the whole truth, right? Like she's trying. Now, did Christy know she shot her with the gun? Maybe, maybe not. Let's say no. Okay. But it doesn't matter. It's still so funny knowing this, right? Knowing this, that Gypsy's sitting there in prison and Christy's given this interview claiming this stuff like, no, I didn't spit in my mom's face. No, I would be too scared. It goes on to say, this is what Christy says. She was terrified of her mom. She has said it over and over in interviews. She said that in the HBO documentary, Mommy, Dad, and Dearest. Erin Lee Carr, the director, asked her, "Would you ever hit your mom back?" And she said, "No, I was too scared." It changes the story. It makes people think, oh, Gypsy's a lot stronger than she said she was. She's braver than she said she was. And that's not the case. Okay. So here, to sum up what is going on here, is that they're claiming that Gypsy was so terrified of her mom, she would never, ever, ever even spit in her face, right? And that when Erin Lee Carr asked her, "Would you ever hit your mom back?" And Gypsy says, no, I was too, no, I was too scared to do that, right? Well, we know what happened, right? Gypsy came at her with a dagger. And I showed you that diagram in my last video. There's about 30 pellet gun wounds, which are way worse than BB gun, by the way. I've looked into all of that now. Pellet gun, pretty bad, pretty powerful, right? No, it's not like a real bullet, but it's not a BB gun either. It's in between. It can do some damage, right? But here, the lies she has told everyone. And here Christy is out simping for her with this Us Weekly or People magazine, making the public think she was terrified. She was terrified. And we know what comes out. So the actual part of episode, like I alluded to there, had to do with Gypsy spitting. Christy claims, "I couldn't sleep that night. Here's what the episode was about. Christy was too stressed after this episode." This is the summation. "Next morning, Dee Dee finds Gypsy passed out on the floor of her room, laptop still out. Oh my, mom immediately smashes the computer to pieces with a hammer. Gypsy rebels, saying she'll buy another one. Dee Dee goes nuts. She throws her daughter down and ties her arms. Gypsy spits in her face, and mom falls to pieces on the bed. The daughter, desperate to escape. Somehow she can't bring herself to go. She's trapped in so many ways." This is the synopsis of the episode. This is what Christy was having a freak out session over. Couldn't sleep at night because it showed Gypsy spitting in Dee Dee's face. Now think about all that's come out now. I mean, not only the pellet gun incident, the videos, not forced in a wheelchair anymore. Wow. I mean, it's fallen apart. See how far it's come from 2019, them pushing this narrative. Gypsy was so scared of Dee Dee. I had to stay up all night after I watched that Hulu episode. I am so stressed out about that Hulu episode. It's going to make people think that Gypsy is something she's not. She would never, ever, ever do anything to her mom like that. Not only did she shoot her with a pellet gun, she murdered her mom, right? I mean, can't roll my eyes big enough with these people. Yeah. So that was in 2019. Interesting, right? How the narrative has changed. It just keeps changing. Yes, you may have noticed my Keegan's, my cat, has just made an appearance. She wasn't here, but she's here now. She's here now to say hi to you guys for the rest of the live stream. Okay. So let me see, what else do I have here? Okay, I want to, let me go back over here. Just bear with me a minute, guys, because I have to switch out some videos and bring some other ones up. You guys can watch this. You guys can watch this while I while I get load a couple videos. It won't take me but like a minute.
Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you want to build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snowman. Go away, Anna. Okay, bye.
All right. I got one video up I want to get a couple more up. I'm sorry I made you do that. I'm sorry I made you. Was it too loud? Probably it was. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, let's take a listen to this video clip and then we'll discuss again, Circus of Fools, the narrative, how it's changed over the years and how it has morphed and how all of these fools The one I forgot to put Mike Stanfield on my thumbnail. Maybe I'll have to add him after, because he is a major part of how the narrative started out, and he's gone now. That's one guy that's kind of like, he's just gone. I think he read the room, like, or she ran out of money to pay him, right, to be her manager, her entertainment manager. All right, let's take a listen to this clip.
Nothing but a process. My dad and Christy was.
I love that. I gotta full screen that. That look right there. That look right there. Right, guys? That is the look. Like, oh shit. Now they know. Now they know. Right? I love it. I love that for her right there. I do. I love it. And I want to see her look like that again in the near future. It's why I'm doing this. It's what keeps me going. It's what keeps you guys going, right? We want that look once again. All right, let's keep going.
Nobody would have probably ever thought that Gypsy was capable of that, talking.
This part about Rod, what he says and how Christy says and how Mike stammered there when they were talking about when they found that stabbing video, how they were all just floored and shocked. And you know what I think has happened? I think that's happened over and over again to those three, right? And probably Ken. The one person that's completely delusional is Ryan. Ryan still believes everything and he won't look at anything, right? At least Ken read the book. At least he read the book, right? And he's got to know that most of that has been debunked. I'm hoping he knows that. I don't know if he does, right? But yeah, these people were all like floored to know that she did it. And listen to what Rod says here.
You know, her friends.
Yeah. Those shoes have changed a lot. The story has changed a lot. A lot of the facts have come out now. And I'm wondering what they all know. Like, do they know? Are they up to date with everything that's come out? Do they understand how it's completely blown out? I think partially they must, because they're ghosted. They haven't been around. Click the clip, kind of jumping around here. Christy about the book edits.
Some mistakes about, doing the fraud thing. Well, that's what some people can only do when they're trying to raise a kid themselves. Look, we do.
This is from Christy when she used to be on panels, and she's going to reveal some things about the book edits here. That another telling detail.
Do the best we can with what we have.
Yeah.
And we always want to give our children everything we didn't have.
Yeah, please, Christy, for the life of me, please don't let Aurora read that book, because it's grotesque, it's disturbing, and whoever wrote that book should be fired, because the grammatical errors in it, my goodness.
Let me tell you, that's kind of our fault, because we were so busy and we didn't finish reading it.
What? It's their fault because Gypsy admitted she read it. What was it? I don't know, over and over again, or 50 times, or right? Okay. The other thing is the Circus of Fools. They don't check in with each other when they add to the narrative, right? So there's all kinds of different stories out there about different subjects,
So the Saints were against the Kansas City Chiefs. No, it wasn't. They said Laura was a nurse. No, she wasn't. She was a...
This is funny because Christy is pointing out things that are so mundane about they talked about them going to one game like this. No, it wasn't. That wasn't the right game. No, there are major lies in that book. It's not about Laura was a nurse or wasn't a nurse, or they went to this game and it was that game. There's major lies in that book. Major lies.
Housekeeper at the hospital. That was Dee's ex stepmom, but there are some, little screw ups, but they said they're going to correct it. When they do, they do. I think for the second reprint of it, it'll all be corrected. But I still haven't read it all because I'm not ready for some chapters. I'll read it when I'm mentally.
So no, you're not ready for the chapters because you probably read part of it and are like, okay, that's not true. Okay, that's not true. You're not ready for it because partially, I would believe willingly lied for her a lot. And then partially probably didn't know you were lying for her because she lied to you about shit. And so, yeah, I mean, it is a circus of fools, and they're all involved with so many of these different narratives. All of them have been blown out of the water at this point. I can't think of one portion of her story that's still standing. That's what this live stream is about. I can't think of one portion of her story that's still standing. It's all been knocked down. And you know what? It took this whole community to do it. Not one person. It took all of us. All of us.
That might be a time I drink a whole glass of wine.
I feel that.
Uh-oh, Christy's talking about drinking wine. All right, that's the end of that clip. Yeah. All right. What else do I have? Oh, okay. I showed you that one about Christy. Okay. So Christy also, since we're talking about Christy, should I show you that clip or should I show you this? All right, let's show, partially, you guys have seen a lot of this. I've gone over a lot about Christy lying about Dee Dee starving her mom. You guys know about that. But there's other stuff in this clip that I want to go over too.
You think Dee Dee had anything to do with her mom's death? And she, said, now I wonder. That's how evil she was.
Yeah, I hate that part. You guys know I've been hammering that in recent weeks, this whole lie about saying that Dee Dee starved her mom to death. That was also a lie that Christy perpetrated for the beginning narrative when Gypsy first got out.
To leave your mama dirty and asking for food and not want to feed her.
And now this is interesting because, let me just let you listen to it, and then I'm going to stop it and point something out to you.
That's evil.
Were you sad at all when you heard she was dead?
Me? I didn't believe it.
I didn't.
Sorry, guys. For those of you that don't know, this is Dee Dee's father, Claude. He is still alive. And Dee Dee's stepmother, Laura, she is deceased. Dee Dee and Laura did not get along. There's a whole history, whole story there I'm not going to get into right now. Laura did not like her at all, and Dee Dee did not like her either. Some rumors that Laura was seeing Claude prior to Dee Dee's mother dying, like rumors of an affair between them. Don't know if that's true or not, and if that is the issue that came between them. But Laura definitely is not on team Dee Dee and slanders Dee Dee as hard as Christy slanders her. Okay.
It just didn't sink. It took a few days before, I didn't believe that she was dead. I thought it was another one of her tricks.
I was like, who did Dee Dee piss off?
This is Gypsy's cousin Bobby, as most of you know.
Now, what kind of shit did Dee Dee get into? I wasn't thinking, oh my God, my aunt's dead, because I figured that one day she pissed off somebody.
This guy talks through his ass. He was not old enough to know anything about Dee Dee. Anything he relates about Dee Dee is either something he's heard from someone else, yet he was seeking the fame after the murder happened. He was all up in let me on the documentaries. He was all about, he was in Facebook groups also. He liked the fandom. He felt like he was getting kind of famous. So this guy also has been a staunch supporter of Gypsy and also is a minor player in the Circus of Fools. He is in the Circus of Fools because he also perpetrated the narrative for Gypsy that has been disproven at this point.
To that point, and I actually did think that it'd probably be Gypsy, and whenever we later got the word that Gypsy was fine and she was by her boyfriend's house, we were like, she killed her mom. She finally did. She couldn't take it anymore, She finally just said, fuck it all. I'm killing this bitch.
Do you think she got what she deserved?
According to
Yes.
Gypsy.
Do you think she got what she deserved? Do you see the closed caption there on the screen? According to who? According to who? According to Gypsy. Yes. This all goes back to Gypsy. Gypsy said, Gypsy's word. That's all. There's no other evidence, right? So they're going by what Gypsy said. So did she get what she deserved? Yes. Grandfather says, according to Gypsy, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she got what she deserved.
And all the brothers and sisters don't care about Didi no more.
And why is that? Why was that? I don't know if that's true to this day, but back then, because what Gypsy said, and because she had these powerful companies like HBO backing her up, Aaron Lee Carr willing, that was the producer of the Mommy, Dead, and Dearest documentary, that they're in here, that they thought, and I think her siblings thought, oh, I guess it's true. They got this HBO that's going to tell this story. So I guess Dee Dee did do all these things, right? Yeah, it's really, really sick.
Gypsy, she got cremated. She said, "What you want me to do with the ashes?" Everybody said, "I don't want her. I don't want her."
Flush them.
I told her, "Flush that in the toilet."
Her sister said, flush that in the toilet.
She said, "We're gonna bring that in Mama's room, make her mask and everything." I said, "You gonna pay for it?" "I'm not paying for it. You gonna get that?" They said, "We can't afford it." I said, "Flush it in the toilet."
Every time, I've seen that so many times, and every time it gets me more and more angry, and angrier even today, because as I've watched that scene multiple times, more and more has come out. And now it's like, you guys were so hoodwinked. You guys were so brainwashed. Gypsy said, according to Gypsy, I guess she got what she deserved. And I'm not saying there wasn't probably sibling problems or whatever. I don't know. I have no way to know that, right? You know, but you can just tell, you know, they're in this documentary, you know, they got this, you know, this, they're not famous people, but they got this HBO coming in and they're going to make this big documentary. And well, I guess it's what they say. I guess that's what happened because they're doing a documentary on it. So it must be true. Yeah. And that's why, you know, all of us are out here going, yeah, justice for Dee Dee, you know, come on. Let's get the truth out finally, right? Doesn't she deserve that? No one's perfect. I'm not saying she was perfect, but Jesus, the way they did her dirty, the way that, you know, she was murdering her own mom, for Christ's sake, according to Christy, starving her own mom. I mean, it just, it gets to me. I know it gets to you guys too. All right, guys, how are we doing on time? Yeah, we're almost getting there. Let me see if there's always so much more that I want to, you know, share with you guys, but I know you guys have lives as I do. And, all right, I don't know why I have this clip up here. I'm just going to play it. I'm not sure why I have this clip or if I even played it yet, but let's take a look at it.
Dee Dee was saying that.
Oh yeah, this one's good. Actually, if someone knows where this clip came from, it's like somebody I think put together a few clips from a few documentaries. You know, email me and I definitely will. You know, we'll give you credit in the description box. I'm just not sure who this is, but yeah, let's take a look at this.
And perfectly healthy.
Yeah, she was. Nothing wrong with her. She looked perfect.
I see you.
They were asking Rod there, oh, when she was born, she was perfectly healthy. And I guess Rod said, yeah, she was, which we know she wasn't.
Dee Dee was saying that she was sick, problems, sleeping, epilepsy, and it just progressed from there.
My name is Cloyd Petrie. Didi was my daughter. After she divorced Rod, Didi moved back with us. And at night, Gypsy had a machine on. The alarm would come on when she stopped breathing. So you had to wake her up. Once you wake her up, the machine would stop.
Gypsy was 6 months old when I started dating her dad. And by the time Gypsy was around a year old, she had sleep apnea and then her eyesight, which she did have an extremely lazy eye.
She was the best mother. There's no way I can do what you're doing. Sick child, it's constantly 24/7 taking care of her and everything. I mean, I always praised her and told her, good job.
One of her seizures made her paralyzed from mid.
This is interesting that she says this. One of her seizures made her paralyzed. This is interesting now that we have Gypsy saying this exact, verifying that this, not that the seizure actually made her paralyzed, obviously it didn't, but you see how the truth is weaved in with so many lies.
And everything. I mean, I always praised her and told her, good job.
One of her seizures made her paralyzed from mid-thigh down. When people would ask me,
Christy, that story came from Gypsy now. You know, Christy's telling this like, you know, because we know Gypsy's not really paralyzed, right? So Christy is saying this in this documentary or TV show, whatever one this clip is from, like Dee Dee made that up. Now we know, Christy, you are now telling Gypsy's actual lie, and she doesn't even know it. See how crazy this is? The Circus of Fools? It's crazy. They're crazy. They're all crazy. Yeah.
oh, what Gypsy has wrong with her? I'm like, there was so much. The list is shorter of what she doesn't have.
Beautiful
Yeah.
and perfectly healthy.
All right. So there's that clip. Very interesting with that Christy part. You know, she was saying she had a seizure and got paralyzed from the mid-thigh down. Was she saying something like that? Not knowing. Yeah, that actually is true. Not that she was paralyzed, but that was Gypsy. That was Gypsy's story, right? That she has confirmed now over and over again that that happened. Didn't actually technically happen, but it was the story Gypsy made up to tell her mom why she couldn't walk. Your mind will go numb trying to keep up with all this. I'm telling you. So I thought it was it would be entertaining in some respects and also a good little, you know, refresher going back in time, looking how this Circus of Fools developed, how the story changed and changed and changed, who was involved. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think that's going to do it for me. Let me see. Do I have any other comments? I want to make sure I get each comment in here. Yeah, I think that's it. How are you guys doing? Let's get to some of your ending comments here before we go, because you guys are always so entertaining in the chat also. Okay. We got Chris says 8647 member for 4 months. Ken knows Gypsy will allow him to do horrible things to the baby. Ken and Gypsy are both sick and twisted. I agree. Chris says 8647. I agree. Add S1 Somniac 61, 5 pounds. Thank you. Anyone who gets involved with Gypsy ends up with Gypsy ends up with any real happiness. She's a curse to everyone in her life. That is fact. That is just fact. Thank you for that. And thank you for the 5 pounds. And thank you for staying up. I know you must be overseas, I'm thinking. Okay. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. At HMT of Scott's, $1.99. Ken's job is really him living separate. Okay. So many people believe he just comes in on the weekend. I've heard this also. Is that what's going on? You guys let me know. And thank you for being here. Scott's, HMT of Scott's. Thank you for being here. At Brittany Tilly 7068, member for 4 months. You're right. No one is on panel anymore. Yeah, right. Interesting. Made me think about this live stream. Partly I'm like, where are they? What's going on? Then I started to think about it and I'm like, you know what? I think I know what's going on. Okay. Next up, we got Granny Grossa. Oh my gosh. Gifted 20 Becca Scoops memberships. We got to add like 4 cars on the truth train because Granny Grossa, shout out. You are so generous every time I do a live stream. And I really, from the bottom of my heart and from Keegan's too, thank you so much for the 20 Becca Scoops memberships. That means the world to us. Thank you so much, Granny Grossa. Thank you for being here. Next up, we've got at Taminator 615, $2. Justice for Dee Dee. Karma for Gypsy. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much. Next up, we've got Slayer Wolf 369, $5. New band Oral B and the Water Spigots going on tour. New band Oral B and the Water Spigots going on tour soon. Love you, Becca. Keep the truth train moving. Slayer Wolf, thank you for that. I love it. We got to do a little contest, maybe making up like a name. This would be one of the top 5 for sure. Slayer Wolf, for sure. Next up, we've got Dark Angel 3361, 10 pounds. Very generous. Thank you. Hello again, UK follower, always here on the Truth Train. Sorry, I've not commented last few lives. I've been really unwell. Okay. In and out of the hospital, sending love to everyone. And thank you again, Becca. Well, Dark Angel 3361, thank you for the 10 pounds. You know what? Sorry to hear you have been in and out of the hospital. Hopefully you're out now, right? Because you're in chat, sending you so much love. And, I know everyone in the chat along with me is sending you, just well wishes and get well soon. And thank you for being here. I hopefully we spiced up your Thursday, late evening, maybe Friday morning for you over in the UK, but so glad you're here. And thank you so much. Next up, we've got HMT of Scott's again, $9.99. Becca, thoughts on the DNA on Gypsy's clothes after the crime scene, not Nick's, and she is still wearing it. I'm curious about Dan and David. A hunch is turning into real missing evidence. Love y'all. Okay, yes. So I want to shout out Audacious Audrey, who sent me the file of the DNA. I can tell you that, we're going over that right now. I am talking with Audacious Audrey about it. And so I will, we're on it. And you'll have my thoughts about it in the near future. And I also, Audacious Audrey is going to be doing, I'm pretty sure, a YouTube live stream really soon about some stuff about the community. And I encourage you all to watch it. I'm behind it 100%, what she's doing on that front. All right. Thank you so much for that comment. I really appreciate it. Next up, popcorn and popcorn candy. Sorry. I thought I saw popcorn. Okay. Popcorn candy, $9.75, $2.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, popcorn candy. Really appreciate it. Love seeing you in the chat. Hope you had a good time. Next up, Heather B33, member for 4 months, still aboard the Truth Train, always will be. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. Really, really do. Thank you for also being a member for 4 months. That means everything. At Bree Bryant, 7056, also new member on the Truth Train. Welcome them in. Thank you for being here, Bree Bryant. And thank you for becoming a member. Mighty Mulatto, words of wisdom always. He says, she's not ready to read it for fear of its See, I knew once I said words of wisdom coming from Mighty Mulatto, it was going to be a joke because he is just equally as funny. Yes, she is not ready to read it for fear of insomnia and probably saying, thank God she's not living with us, right? Yeah, I agree with that. Next up, we've got Snow White and the Seven Ghosts, $4.99. Becca, did you get my email about Gypsy promoting and selling Amelia Bird handicrafts? It wasn't allowed. I emailed the prison. Oh, okay. Can you resend it to me? I just resend it to me, and I will be looking for that. Okay, I appreciate it. Apologize if I missed it, but I would love to see that. So please send it to me again. Thank you. Last but not least, we've got Lou Rain 1983. 1983 was a good year. It's a year I had my first son. And they say, Truth Train, woot, woot. Absolutely, Lou Rain 1983. Thank you for being a member for 4 months. Really, really great to see you in the chat. And thank you so much. Okay, so that is going to do it for us. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to do this every Thursday night. So if you guys want to take a mental note or keep your notifications on, I think we as a community, as things are heating up behind the scenes, you know what I mean? I think we need to do this like on a weekly basis. If there's anything you guys want me to address in the lives, feel free to email me at beccascoops@gmail.com. Just say for live stream, maybe in the description box of the email, so I know it's something you want me to address on the live stream, including questions, anything, feel free to email me anytime. I love getting emails too, and I try to stay on top of them as much as I can. What else? I think that's going to do it. I hope you guys had a great time on this live stream. I will probably be making a video next. And then, like I said, next Thursday, we'll be going live again. You guys can look forward to that. I know I look forward to like hanging out with you guys so much. And yeah, Becca Scoops out. Good night, guys.